Hey friends, it's David and I'm counting down my top 10 most played games the past few months. It's been a little while since I've been doing this and I've been playing a lot of games. Most of these I picked up around PAX time a few months back. Had a chance to play a lot of new board games, at least new to me, and this is what I've been playing the most, so let's check it out. Coming in at number 10 for me has been Nemo's War from Victory Point Games and Tabletop Tycoon. Now, you're going to be 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. You're going to be discovering, going on adventures and battling. I only played this one once a month for the past few months. There's a lot more in this. This is the Ultimate Edition. There's a lot of content in this one. A lot of the expansions are included as compared to the base game. And I've only really scratched just the surface of this one. So I still have a lot more to discover about this game and to find all the nuance on. But I've definitely been enjoying my time with Nemo's War over the past few months. And if you haven't heard about this one, if you like strategy games and you like the flavor of this theme, this might appeal to you, and that's Nemo's War. Coming in at number 9 on the games I played the most over the past few months has been Gudnak, and this is a tactical card battler. You're gonna have a 20 card deck. There's a grid, 3x3 grid of 9 spots, where you're placing your, you have 2 actions every turn. You're deploying, you can move and attack with your troops, trying to protect your castle while sieging your opponents. Not too long, doesn't overstay its welcome, and for that reason I've been able to get it to the table a lot more than heavy strategy game. There isn't a ton of content to explore in the base game, but they are having expansions for it. I feel like this is something that if you like Magic, the Gathering, or any sort of battler 1v1, this is something that's quick paced, and that's why I played it a lot, because it got to the table, it's quick. So yeah, Gudnak, number 9. Coming in at number 8 on the games I played the most over the past few months is Set a Watch from Rock Manor Games. This is a cooperative game for up to 4 players. You're gonna have 4 adventurers out of the 6 that come in this base box here, no matter what your player count is. So whether you're playing 2 players cooperatively, you're gonna each have 2 adventurers. Play it solo, you're gonna have 4, or if you're playing with 4 people, you're each gonna have 1 adventurer. You're trying to get 9 different seals, and yeah, I think this is a nice little light cooperative game that I've been enjoying. Rock Manor, they have another great cooperative game that you'll see later on this list that has a lot more setup to it. This one is quick to set up, and the brevity of the time to get this to the table and actually get a game done is why it's one of the most played games the past few months for me. And I definitely think it's worth checking out if you like cooperative games in a fantasy setting. It's portable, small, great, fun. Set a watch. Coming in at number 7 for me on the games I played the most over the past few months has actually been the Universes CCG with these challenger decks. I had played the Universes CCG maybe a year or 2 years ago when the My Hero Academia stuff came out. I'm not really a fan of that property, so I mean, I didn't really have a connection to, although I really enjoy the game system. So these ones here, we got what do we got? Critical Role, Cowboy Bebop, and Trigun. These are the ones I picked up at PAX East, and I connect with these themes more, so like I'm playing with them. So I've been just, like treating them like dual decks, battling against each other with them. I really enjoy this system They have a whole bunch of different IPs, intellectual properties, that you can choose from. They do have competitive play. I'm a casual player. I'm not going to step into a tournament of this game ever. Maybe a pre-release, but just for a casual CCG where you can pick up one of these pre-built decks and it's good to go to battle against each other. Big fan of Cowboy Bebop. And if you like Critical Role, they have a few of those decks too. And they have a whole bunch of other ones as well. Universes CCG. I really enjoy the foundation system and having the tactics of going for low, high, medium on how you're going to attack and how that builds up and how that plays off against each other. I think that's really a neat and clever way of having a battler. So yeah, I think if you haven't checked it out, this one is worth your time. Number 6 on the games I played the most over the past few months has actually been an expansion. This is the Sigils of Ruin expansion to Eschaton. I feel Eschaton not many people know about it. It seems very unpopular. It's a very dark themed deck builder where you're trying to gather your cult before Armageddon. This expansion adds champions and avatars and new abilities and a whole wealth of new cards that really reinvigorated this game for me. And I know that on the horizon, I think they had a Kickstarter for a cooperative expansion. And I'm really curious, because I love cooperative games, where the cooperative expansion will go for this. But definitely Eschaton is an under-the-radar gem that if you enjoy deck builders and you like darker themed games, it's an area control deck builder, and I think it's worth checking out. And Sigils of Ruin, if you have the base game, you're going to want to pick up this expansion to it to add a little bit more variety. Coming in at number 5 for me on the games I played the most over the past few months has been Blade Rhondo. So now, this actually isn't the base game of Blade Rhondo. This is a standalone expansion. That means this is an expansion to the base game. However, you can play this by itself. So I cannot speak to the base game of Blade Rhondo. All I can speak to is the contents of this Grim Garden, which has a little bit of a macabre aesthetic vibe going with the card art. So this is a 1v1 fighting game, and you have like a set pre-constructed deck, and you can build that at the beginning. And you have defense cards that you can use one time, and you have a voltage counter that's going up, allowing you to cast ever increasingly cost spells. So this game goes really quick. It's over 5 to 10 minutes. A lot of times like 5-6 minutes once you know what's going on here. And I really like that fast pace. Also, there's a solo mode, which I was like, what? There's a solo mode? Yeah, there's a solo mode where you're fighting this swarm of baddies. And I like it. I like this a lot. And I'm curious about the other content for the game, the base game, and the other standalone expansions that they have for it. And I do like that model, that there aren't the random booster packs. I like that you know exactly what you're gonna get. You can probably like read online what the expansion adds, what themes, and grab the ones that appeal to you. But this is the one that I played, and I think this is definitely worth checking out if a friend has it, or you're at a board game cafe or something, or just on a whim if you like 1v1 battlers. Grim Rhondo, not Grim Rhondo, Blade Rhondo, the Grim Garden from Japanime Games. Coming in at number 4 on the games that I've played the most over the past few months has been Smug Owls from Runaway Parade Games. They do Fire Tower. That's a abstract strategy I like. This one is actually a party game, and I don't play a ton of party games. So for a party game, for me to make a list of most played, for me is a little bit of a big deal. I do have a bunch of party games in my collection, but I just don't usually game in big groups. Usually a lot of my play is 1v1. So Smug Owls, you're going to be flipping over a attention card and a couple riddles, and it'll be a question. So like the prompt on the back of the box is saying like, what rises before it breaks? And everyone's going to put in their answer. And then the Smug Owl, the judge of that round, is going to decide whose answer is the best answer. Now, they don't have to exactly award one winner. They can split it up. The 3 cards that are flipped every round, those are used as the points. So they can give 3 points to one player, or 2 points to one player and 1 point to another, or they can give 1 point to 3 different players. But anyways, it just continues. You're flipping these cards and you're coming up with the answers to these questions, and you're trying to make like the best answer or the funniest answer. And at the end, whoever has the most points wins. It's a cute little party game that I enjoy, and I can definitely recommend it. Smug Owls from Runaway Parade Games. Coming in at number 3 on the games that I played the most over the past few months has been Drop Drive. This is from Phase Shift Games. They did Drop Dungeon. So Drop Drive, at the beginning, we're going to be randomly generating this solar system by dropping all the components onto the table. And then we are starships, captains, and we are flying around, picking up fuel and cargo and delivering it to planets and upgrading our ships and fighting pirates and fighting other players. And when you drop off your cargo, you drop those pieces back onto the board. And if you want to hyper jump to a different location, you can just drop your spaceship on the board after getting rid of one of your gas tokens. This is definitely one of those games that has a table presence, and it's fun. It's a gimmick, but I really like this gimmick. And yeah, this is definitely going to be added to my collection and not going anywhere anytime soon, because I think this is one that's really light, fun game that you can play with people of all ages, both young and older. So this is like the basic version. When I was making this list, the only one I saw that I can link was like the extra cool version that has all the expansions. Can't speak to that. I only have this version. There are expansions that add more variability to the game, which that would probably make it more fun and add more replayability, right? But this version right here, I do enjoy, and I do recommend checking it out if you like science fiction themed games and you want something that's going to last, I want to say like 20 minutes to 40 minutes, depending on your play group and the number of players. If you're playing just a couple people, less than half an hour, 3 or 4 people, a little under an hour. But it's fun. And it's a cute little gimmick about dropping all the components, and that's where the solar system is. It means like that you have a new map every time you play, and that's cool. Yeah, Drop Drive from Phase Shift Games, worth checking out. Coming in at number 2 on the games I played the most over the past several months has been Maximum Apocalypse: The Wasted Wilds. Now, I actually have the, where is it? The Legendary Edition. It's way up there. I don't know if you can see it, if it's on camera or off camera. But, so this adds new characters. This is a standalone, but if you have older content of the game, you can play it. They have some updated missions. This is a cooperative game. You're going to be trying to survive, and one of the new features about this is that it adds in weather. So we've got some an additional board that's tracking some additional things. Another cool thing about this one is that it makes the setup a lot easier. You have set decks for setting up the missions. In the previous version of the game, you'd have to go through a guide and construct those decks that you're using when you're playing, and so that made the setup and tear down of the game take a lot longer. that is taken care of here in this version of the game, and it's backwards compatible. You can incorporate all that old content in. There's no shortage of content for this game at the moment. There's a lot in this right here, and you can go out and you can find more content from the older editions of the game to add in if this isn't enough for you. I had a blast playing this. I'm still playing this. I'm gonna keep playing this. This found a home, a forever home on my shelf. It's not going anywhere anytime soon, and I cannot give more praise to this if I could, because I love it. So yeah, my second most played game over the past several months has been Maximum Apocalypse: The Wasted Wilds. Definitely my jam. And coming in at number 1 on the games I played the most over the past few months has been Legendary, Marvel Legendary. This is a deck building game. I've been playing the expansion $20.99, but really, if you haven't tried it already, the What If standalone, this is what you need to get going. This is a deck building game where you're selecting heroes cooperatively, fighting against the mastermind. The amount of content for this game is overwhelming, but in a good way, because a lot of the expansions comes in small packs like this that add 5 heroes and several different bad guys and what are schemes, which switch up how the gameplay, the winning condition and losing condition, and so it's that variability of all the different winning conditions and losing conditions and different heroes and how they interact with each other. And I like how that they're fixed set. It's not blind booster box, blind, you know, random TCG model. It's, you know what you're gonna get. If you like, you know, the $20.99 comic, then you pick this up. If you want Midnight Suns, you get the Midnight Suns expansion. If you like Avengers, there's Avengers expansions. If there's a Marvel character, there's an expansion for it. And I've been just playing a lot of Marvel Legendary because it's very casual and easy, and the I won't say it's not thinky, because there is some thinkiness to it, but it's not overtly complicated. So this is something that I can get to the table with friends who aren't into the heavy board games that I might be. So it gets a lot of play for me, and I love it. So yeah, if you haven't already checked it out, Marvel Legendary, definitely recommend the What's If standalone base set, and then add in an expansion or 2 of one of the characters you love. Hey friends, thank you so much for watching this. If you haven't already, hit that follow button wherever it is, the like, the share, all that. Let me know what you've been playing down in the comments. What games have you been playing the most the past few months? I want to know. Which of these have you played? Have you not played? Are you interested in any of them? Let me know. I'm curious what you have to say and think. Yeah. What are you still doing here? You're still here? This is a little hidden gem. I feel like I'm the only person who likes this game. I feel like I'm the only person who likes this game. It's a party game. Stack of traits of things you love and things maybe not so much about a person, and you say whether or not someone would date them. In a group setting, you're trying to guess and you get a point. But I like it one-on-one, and I like it just as a conversational tool of, would you date this person, and revealing yes or no at the same time and explaining why.